Alright folks, we're back today with, believe it or not, another induction cooker. This one is pretty much no name brand. Bought it from a company called Lenoxx. Paste a link below. It's about 60 bucks or a bit less, but pretty certain it's just China brand, for lack of a better term. If you look up IC400, you'll find it everywhere online, but cheap as chips. Zero return policy, so guaranteed quality. But the food on the packet, oh there we go, Lenoxx. The food on the packet looks pretty good. Now, I'm not sure what ticks and whatnot they actually have, how certified it is. Oh yeah, it's got some ticks on the back. We'll see how good that is, but it does state 2 kilowatt, 2000 watts power consumption. So I have my little Arlec doodad to test out how much it does actually draw. But we'll try it out and we'll see how it goes as far as the boil time goes. I've got the same pot as last time. I've got my 2 cups of water. I just want to see what these other settings do as well though. So I've got this here just to absorb a bit of the heat. So first off, as always, if we turn it on, air is out. Ooh, that's a loud one. Sweet. So saute is at 1300, which it says is 180 degrees. That's interesting. Stir fry. 240, that's maxing out. Alright, fry is a bit less. Grill is 180 degrees. Soup, it's going to boil your soup at 200 degrees, it'll be alright. Steam. Alright, up. Maybe there's something else they do. I'd have to RTFM. Water, yep, well, boil it. And porridge, interesting. So, there's a buzz that goes on there as soon as it starts cooking. I don't know if you can hear that, but the way that these actually work, I don't think I've explained it before, is it's a magnetic pulse. So there's an AC inverter, I think, or there's something in there that basically converts to a magnetic field and turns it on and off really quickly, and that makes the atoms in the metal vibrate, which heat up because the metal's conductive. So this, I think, actually switches. I mean, Jesus, I'm no scientist, I could be completely wrong, but as far as I know, maybe the magnetism switches back and forth. And that's making the atoms in the conductive metal jump around, which of course, you know, they're excited, they get hotter, that boils the water, and that's why you need something conductive on there. I think there's a bit more to it than that, because of course, if you take it off, it stops working. So there must be some sort of feedback mechanism there. What I'm curious about with this water setting is if it gets up to temperature and then it cuts off, or if it keeps it at a boil, or it dials it back or something. So, see here, temperature's definitely rising. 90 degrees, 92 degrees. What's it down here? Cold surface. I mean, I don't know how it thinks it's hitting 200 degrees. Oh, that's in the steam. And maybe the surface of the material is. Doing something. It's up there. It's boiling the water. So this cheap doodad GM550 from eBay for all of, I don't know, 100 bucks or something, I'll paste a link, isn't the most reliable thing. I guess I can't say the counter is on maybe at 26, so it's pretty good. Maybe it's not as good higher up. So theoretically, if we, how do I, alright, so there. So that should be 200 watts, 80 degrees. Now I wish I had my little doohickey here that would actually show me the temperature, the power consumption, but that's in use in the other room at the moment. This is pulsing on and off, which is getting a little bubble out of it every time it pulses. I'm assuming it's got a thermostat in there. Digital or analog, don't know, it could be a bimetal strip. I'd assume, given all these controls, that it's got something digital in there. So it's 82, 83. Just keeping around that mark. If we knock it up one to 100, is it going to keep a rolling boil? Ah, see, there we go. It's a bit quicker on the on-off now. It's definitely going a bit more. Again, the problem with all induction cookers is that they can't just stay on at a lower temperature. It's not like it can really do anything besides max or min. So these are just a almost pulse width modulation, so it's a duty cycle effect. so this would be on a lot. It does actually sound like it's a bit higher, but it's probably going to turn off again for a bit at the time. I'd expect. There's a difference there, isn't there? Maybe it does put more power into it. Gonna need this little Arlec doodad to actually test it. Interesting. Alright. Let's see how fast it actually cooks. We'll get rid of the boiled water, we don't need that. That fan's gone. A little bit of temperature to it. It's dropping off quick. So, oops, that's off, yep. Cool it down a bit. What else we got? Does actually keep a fair bit of heat in this one. It says along the top the plate is hot after cooking, do not touch with your hand. But oh yeah, that's hot. The label's right. So this is going to soak up the heat anyway. Let's get this on there. 2 cups of water, same as the last handful of tests. And honestly, I'm still a bit hurt that good Breville one. I'm a fan of Breville. That it didn't pan out. I thought that would be the duck's nuts, as they say. Fortunately not. So I'm gonna water this time. I'm not even drinking today. There we go. I'm gonna turn it on, go straight to max, and time it. So it's gonna start somewhere. So I'll time it and on it at the same time. Close enough. See if it can beat the minute something for the rolling boil. Well, what do you know? I got a message popped up on my phone recording saying phone too hot and stopped. So reset the test. In the meantime, it's going to be a weird little janky cut there. Gonna have to edit this bloody thing. I went and got the Arlec because I need to see what this is doing. So I've got fresh room temp water. That's cooled down, and I've got a bit of water here to absorb some temperature. Now it's down here, see the voltage, the current, the power. Ignore the history, that's not really relevant here. I don't think this gives us doesn't give us anything better, but see what it's doing. So we've got on the on-duty cycle, we've got to have a look at what it's doing. It does lag a bit though, so it looks like it's pulling 1000 watts then. Yeah, close to 1000. So this is catching some of the duty cycle in the refresh. Let's go up and let's see if it pulls more than 1000 here. Yeah, 1000 again. Alright, up again. Guessing there's a timer in this, and the timer's not hugely accurate. Alright, still at 800 to 1000 sort of range. Now we've got it set to 1000 watts. So theoretically, this should stay on, draw on 1000 watts. So it seems like the duty cycle is under 1000, and from here it can actually vary it. I don't remember if the other ones have the same functionality though. I'd actually like to go back and test them at some point. It also occurs to me now that I think this shot, the framing is a little bit on the wonk, but good enough. So that's consistent. Alright, 1300. Come on, you gonna refresh or what? No, just drawing a bit more. This is going to start boiling soon, so we need to top it up. We'll let this go through another refresh, but it doesn't, 4 amps, it doesn't look like it's drawing quite what I expected. I don't really trust this thing to be completely up to date either, but yeah, alright, 1600. Now I think it was from 16 to 18, it actually sounded different before. Yeah, it's drawing a little bit more. I don't trust their idea of wattage then. Let's see, 18. Alright, completely different sound from the machine. There's actually a bit of water that's spilled on the surface itself, so it's boiling away. Oh, that'll be alright. Making a lot more noise, but it's not drawing a lot more power, and I'm actually starting to... There we go. 1200. We'll give it another minute. I'll give it a bit more thermal mass. There we go. Still sitting around 1200. I'll top up this 2 cup that we're going to need. Alright, so their idea of 1800 is off the mark by 50% or a third, depending on whether you're saying margin or markup. So max her out, see what it does. Not much. I'd expect it to jump to 13, 14 at least, but there we go. Oh, nearly lost it. But about 1400 at max. Good to know. So, not as advertised. Definitely not as good as some of the others. But you know, wattage per dollar is pretty good. Anchor is still my favourite. I was impressed with that. I've been told the LD one is good. No experience with it myself. Let's see how this pans out. Right, same as before. 2 cup, about half a litre. Some of it missed, but she'll be right. And then we'll go, boom, maxed out. Get right up. I don't know if you can see that. Right, yeah. Yeah, maybe this thing doesn't do great through water, because if that water's starting to bubble, I'd say it's pretty bloody warm. I'm going to say it's going to be hotter than 40. Oh, well, it's about 40, alright. Such a difference there. I wish I had thermal camera. I might have to get one. I don't know about that minute and a half, so theoretically if something chewing 2000 watts can do it in a minute and a half, this is chewing 3/4, you know, 1400, about 3/4. So I'd expect it to take, how's that math work out? I'm not great at this. It's about 30 seconds less maybe for each 500 watts. Yeah, it roughly pans out. I'm too knackered for this garbage. I'll say 2 minutes to roll and boil then, based on this being a third as powerful, or a quarter, or 2, bloody hell, 3/4 as powerful. That's not a great child lock. A lot of the other ones you got like push and hold 2 different things at once. You know, something that stupid little Gumby hands can't do. Oh, it's close. So close. That's the hard simmer. It's not quite a boil though, jeez. Alright, there's the boil. 2.5 minutes. Interesting. So, not quite as advertised, very cost affordable, a little bit of a slip on it, pretty poor child lock, but look, it did the job. It's a cheap induction cooker, what more can you expect? It worked, that was the main thing. Now got 2 or 3 of them, so I don't know, I can cook 2 or 3 things on an induction cooker at once. I kind of want to try out the skillet and go into the grill mode, chuck a steak on there, see how that goes. It'll be interesting. Anyway, cheers guys.